in high definition. From the Breaking News and Weather Authority, this is News 10 at 11.
The U.S. begins the Summer Olympics with a bang. 5 medals in one day. Tracy Potts is at the Olympic Park with more on today's results.
Who's going to win Olympic gold in the 400 IM?
In the so-called pool duel, Ryan Lochte won America's first gold, winning the men's 400-meter individual medley by a full 3 seconds.
I'm so happy. I have my family right there cheering for me. It's a dream come true.
In a big surprise, Michael Phelps barely qualified, then ended up 4th, his worst finish in this race since he was a teenager.
I have a lot of races, so I think the biggest thing now is just really putting this behind me and moving on to the next one.
Phelps has 6 more chances to win 2 medals and become the world's most decorated Olympian. In the women's 400-meter, Elizabeth Beisel came in 2nd, representing America's tiniest state.
I'm still really happy with the silver, and it means a lot to me that I can represent New England and Rhode Island, especially here.
The U.S. earned bronze medals in swimming, a team medal in the women's freestyle relay, and Peter Vanderkay placed 3rd in the men's 400-meter freestyle.
Rookie with a 10.
The U.S. men's archery team took silver, and the U.S. women's beach volleyball team, going for their 3rd gold, beat Australia. They're pretty excited to be in London.
Thank you, Queen, for allowing us to play.
The U.S. women's soccer team advanced, and the men's gymnastics team qualified. They're on top for now. Tracy Potts, NBC News, London.
And happening right after our show here on WILX, men's gymnastics qualifying, plus the first gold medal will be decided in women's weightlifting. Then at 7 a.m. for all you early birds are the qualifying heats for swimming, the women's cycling road race, men's and women's beach volleyball, as well as men's U.S. volleyball against Serbia, and men's water polo. And it will also be the first look at the U.S. women's gymnastics team, which for everyone in mid-Michigan means the first chance to see Jordan Weber compete at the Olympics. And she tweeted this early Saturday. "Tomorrow is the day. This has been crazy. This is crazy, but we are so ready to compete and represent our country. Hashtag Team USA." The Michigan Make-A-Wish Foundation granted its 7,000th wish, and one of them went to a girl who is on her way to the London Olympics. Wish a Mile, a fundraising bike tour that began in Traverse City and ends Sunday at MSI, made a stop at DeWitt High School Saturday. Michelle Ferris will now head to the Olympics Monday thanks to the efforts of the Michigan Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Friday morning we left Traverse City, went down to Big Rapids, from Big Rapids to DeWitt, and DeWitt to MIS, and we'll finish on the Speedway tomorrow.
Michelle and her family will be in London for 5 days. She says she's looking most forward to the swimming events and the women's gymnastics final. Make-A-Wish Michigan told us they hope to raise $2 million through the fundraiser. As of today, they have already beat that goal. We now send it off to Laura Hartman with a first look of the forecast. Hey, Laura.
Hey, Brian. It looks like we're cooling down quite a bit tonight, even cooler than last night, with temperatures dipping into the upper 50s for most locations. A few of us hanging on to the 60s. But let's take a look and see where those temperatures are at your midnight hour. We're still in the 60s, but low 60s at that. A lot of us will be falling just a few more degrees for those lows. And of course, we're not falling quite as quickly. Highs today in the low 80s, and that's about normal for us. We're looking at warming trends going on, at least for tomorrow, so expect it to be a few degrees warmer, but we're talking upper 80s and mid 80s for all of us. No 90s foreseeable in the next 7 days. Now, dew points staying rather comfortable as well, so don't expect those to rise too much throughout the remainder of the weekend. We're looking at a relatively dry weekend, and as far as the rain goes, that's holding off until Monday. Here's a look at your morning planner. Sunshine ahead for your Sunday. We'll talk 7-day in just a few minutes. Brian?
All right, thanks, Laura. An emotional day for family and friends of Colorado shooting victim Jessica Gowie as they say their final goodbyes. A memorial service was held Saturday for the 24-year-old in San Antonio, Texas, where she grew up. She was living in the Denver area pursuing her dream to become a sportscaster when she was struck down during the shooting rampage in Aurora. The most poignant moment came when Gowie's brother described how her dreams will live on.
And Dad, I want you to know, Mom, I want you to know, I know you're hurting and I haven't lost it yet, but I'm hurting with you, and her story will continue to be told. And she's going to live on through the scholarship fund. She will live on. Her dreams were not fulfilled, but through her, others will.
Jessica Gowie was born in Lansing, living in mid-Michigan shortly before moving to Texas and then Colorado. After a long night of driving, Nicole Johnson of Albion has been reunited with her baby. Police say her estranged husband, Luke Minbari, kidnapped 6-week-old Nala Johnson, stole his wife's car, and drove to Illinois, where he was caught. Johnson tells us she is very happy her daughter is healthy, safe, and back at home. Police are going to extradite Bari back to Michigan. Old Town introduces some color into the city. We'll tell you about the artful experience. The third annual Summer Art Fling was in Old Town Saturday. More than 40 artists filled the sidewalks to sell original artwork. The event's co-founder says they just want people to experience Old Town.
The whole idea of the Summer Art Fling came up with wanting to help bring more people into Old Town during July.
Art Fling has become a tradition in the month of July. There will also be another art event in September. We've had some good weather lately, but will it continue? Laura Hartman has your full forecast next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast from the Weather Authority.
Definitely safe to shut the air conditioning off outside. It's really cooling down out there.
It certainly is. Let's take a look at those local temperatures and you'll see just where we're headed for the overnight lows. As of right now, though, at the midnight hour, we're at the low 60s, 64 for Lansing in one of the warmest places, 63 in Still and 64 as well in Marshall. A couple locations getting into the low 60s, and I think a lot of us will be in the upper 50s for tonight. So quite a cool night overall. You can definitely turn those air conditioners off and maybe just leave a light fan or just open the windows, because it certainly will be cool enough that you'll get a good night's rest with those open windows. Now, satellite and radar showing just a few clouds, especially off to the southeast, but those have since moved out of the way, and we are looking at lots of stars for tonight, moonlight, and it looks like we're going to continue with the nice clear skies into tomorrow morning and throughout the rest of the day. But I do want to remind everyone, although we're seeing the sunshine for this weekend, we do desperately need that rain still. Take a look at this June 1st rain totals. Now, Lansing and Jackson seeing about half of where we should be. Jackson's doing a little bit better, almost 4 inches, and they should be about 6.22 inches. But Lansing seeing an even larger deficit, and many of us still in that moderate to severe drought conditions being down in the Branch and Hillsdale counties off to the south. Now, hour by hour futurecast showing us staying dry for the next few days, so really not too many changes in this. Some clouds being brought in for the morning. We'll see lots of sunshine still, a couple clouds out there, so we could see as we go into Monday, thickening of the clouds and the chances for showers. Now, they'll hold off in the morning. We could see those in the early afternoon and especially in the evening. A lot of those staying off into the overnight hours. Let's take a look at temperatures though, because this is the last night where we'll see about normal temperatures. Tomorrow we're heating things up just a few degrees, and we're going to continue staying in just a little bit above average temperatures for the next few days. So as we head on into the overnight, take a look at this. We're into the 50s, and then as we head into tomorrow, this shows us mid 80s. I think a lot of us will be mid to upper 80s for highs tomorrow. Same thing for Monday. We're staying rather consistent, but lows will be warmer by tomorrow night than what they will be for tonight. So we're talking 60s for those lows. Now tonight, clear night, lots of cool temperatures too, with the clear conditions allowing us to cool down. 58 and winds becoming calm outside. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a little bit on the warmer side than what it was for today. We're talking 87 as opposed to the low 80s that we made today. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures staying rather consistent, and take a look at those chances for showers. Monday night into Tuesday being the best chance right now. We're dry by Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday reintroduce some chances for showers. Temperatures staying relatively nice in the mid to upper 80s, and as we head into next week, dry at this point. Temperatures much the same as today, not bad.
Hard to believe it's going to cool down even a little bit more at night.
Isn't it? It's really nice though, but man, speaking of the end of July, it's almost school time. Can you guys believe that already? Our yearly effort to collect school supplies for local kids is underway. If you'd like to donate to Operation Backpack, we're accepting new backpacks and supplies here at the station, Congressman Mike Rogers' office, and 2 men and a truck. You can also drop them off at St. Vincent Catholic Charities and Capital National National Bank in Lansing and Okemos. Operation Backpack runs through August 20th.
All right, great. Thanks, Laura. Are you guys ready for some football? Spartan Junior quarterback Andrew Maxwell is here. Jeremy talks sports next.
Mark D'Antonio likes a lot of things about his new starting quarterback, Andrew Maxwell, but the one thing that he told me on Thursday in Chicago is how much he respects Andrew for having the patience to sit behind Kirk Cousins for 3 seasons and wait his turn. Maxwell, a redshirt junior, so he'll have 2 years left to lead this Spartan program. Last year, he played in 4 contests, threw just 26 passes, one of them here going for a touchdown against Central Michigan. Now, Andrew knows the system. He knows what to do. He says the only thing left is to go out and prove he has what it takes on game day. How excited are you to get this season going?
I think anytime you approach a new football season, there's a certain amount of hype and a certain amount of energy. You know, but this season, especially for me, going into it as the starter, is something special and something different for me, and I'm definitely anxious to get training camp started and get into game 1.
A lot of similarities with Andrew and Kirk. Both very faith-based people, which to me allows them to not put all their apples over here and say it's all about football or it's all about success. It's not. It's about achieving success long term. He's composed, he's poised, he's got experience, he's a quick learner, he's got toughness. He's been in the system for 3 years. So all these intangibles are there. What he doesn't have yet is that experience on game day when it's crunch time.
All right, the Lions invited some of their fans to day 2 of training camp in Allen Park on Saturday, and this looks like a pretty loose team. How about defensive back Louis Delmas making the nice play here, and as he's running over to the sidelines, well, he's not slowing down, and that's right, he's going right into the stands to sit right between these 2 fans. Hi, how you doing? I'm Louis. Hi, Louis. Nice to meet you. How you doing there, buddy? High five? Yeah, all right, let's go Lions. And he jogs back onto the practice field. To say these guys are loose, I guess that's an understatement. But they did continue to work hard today. Head coach Jim Schwartz saying there is a process to get this team ready to go all out in training camp.
We'll be shoulder pads for the next couple days. First couple days we're just getting acclimated and you know, not wearing shoulder pads, even though we are wearing those little shock pads, which we're not allowed to wear in OTAs. We'll be shoulder pads tomorrow. We'll be shoulder pads on Monday. We'll be in full pads on Tuesday. There's a process behind it. You know, we don't want to, you know, jump right into it. We want to, you know, I won't say ease into it, but you want to have a smart plan to get to full pads.
All right, it's hard to believe, but we're less than a month away from the beginning of the high school football season. There's a familiar face to Jackson High School fans, Ben Pack, the interim head coach for the Vikings. If that name sounds familiar, it should. Pack was the head coach for the 1987 to 2002, and recently he told me about the circumstances leading him to come back to lead this Viking team.
You know, I was the coach for 16 years and left to go into administration and was coaching over at Albion College as well for 4 years. And then when our superintendent asked me to come back after we'd went through and offered some candidates and it just didn't work out with teaching jobs, I said I would do it for a year.
Jim Leyland turned to a new Tiger, Annabelle Sanchez, to try and break that 2-game losing streak. Sanchez making his first start for the guys in the Old English D after being traded from Miami. And the Tigers were down 1 here in the 4th. Brennan Bosch, a nice piece of hitting, goes down and drives this ball the other way into the gap in left center. 2 hops to the wall. Delman Young's going to score all the way from first. Just like that, we're tied up at 1. But then the Blue Jay home run barrage began. Edwin Encarnacion deep to right center. That's a solo shot, and that gave the Jays the lead back. To the 6th now, it's Yunel Escobar. This is another solo home run. It gets into the first deck there. Same score in the 7th, and Colby Rasmus. That's a 2-run blast. That would mark the end of the day for Sanchez, who takes the loss in his Tiger debut. 5-1 your final. Detroit now 2.5 games behind Chicago.
We haven't been swinging the bats again. We've gone into a little lull again, but we'll break out of that. And Sanchez was fine. He should have left today's start really 3-1. I left him in too long. I shouldn't have left him in that last inning. I should have taken him out.
The Lugnuts opening up a series with the South Bend Silverhawks at Country Night over at Cooley Law School Stadium. Top of the first, Silverhawks start fast. Chris Ellison singles up the middle off Anthony Desclafani. And later in the inning, Ryan Court sends his pitch deep into right field. Chris Hawkins is able to make the catch, but he has no chance of gunning down Ellison, who tags and scores the first run of the game. But after that, it was pretty much all Lansing. The Lugnuts win at 9-5. Same two teams will play Sunday afternoon at 2:05. Brian, it's hard to believe we are now about 4 hours away from Jordan Weber making her debut and going after that gold medal for Team USA. Again, we'll update you on all that action tomorrow, but now about 4.5 hours away from that getting underway.
My guess is if she does tweet, it will be late in the day and not...
Yeah, there won't be a lot of tweeting, I think, during the competition. They have a lot to do tomorrow, so she'll be pretty busy.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yep.
All right, Laura's back with a final check of your weather after the break. Stay with us.
Well, another nice day to finish off the weekend, but temperatures just a tad hotter. Rain coming on Monday.
All right, that's going to do it for us on News 1011. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.